This is called the Smart Guillotine. Built by Chanel. You know, the perfume and clothing and accessories brand for the rich. What on earth does a perfume company have to do with chopping people's heads off?
All right, now in the comments of that video, a few people were saying that this guillotine is just a piece of artwork, it's nothing bad, and Altilan Childs shouldn't have mentioned it because it's just a great piece of art. Nothing wrong with it. So I decided to dig into it a little bit and see, and the artist is Tom Sachs, and here it is, the Chanel guillotine. Notice that it's called Breakfast Nook. So if you look at this image, you'll see that there's 2 seats on it, and then there's a table where you eat, and that's where the person lays who's getting decapitated. So this is not only a guillotine, but it's also a piece of art about cannibalism. You can see that as the breakfast nook, the people sitting down would be consuming the decapitated body. And we know that the elites at least love to pretend that they're doing cannibalism, as we can see here, or just do a Google search for the Abramovich cake, and you'll see Marina Abramovich and a lot of the other elites involved with this disgusting thing where they make a cake that looks like a human and then they cut into it. I'm not going to click on this image to make it bigger because YouTube's going to flag my video, but you could see that she's cut into the fake cake body and pulled out the heart, and Marina is back here in the background just with a big smile on her face, and so you can imagine that this is just the same exact thing along those lines. In fact, here is from Vogue, which is fashion and of course would tie right in with companies like Chanel. You see, "Eat Me, a delectable recipe for DIY your own Thom Brown cake," which I don't think I've seen a more creepy image since Pizzagate. Look at these. Look at what's going on here. This is promoted by Vogue as if it's just a great thing to go do with your friends. I mean, this looks like it's straight out of the Satan's handbook on what humans should be doing as far as cake consumption goes. And this article goes on to just give you the recipe and how to do it. So that having this breakfast nook, with the decapitation, goes right along with all of the decapitated heads that you can see. They have, whenever they eat like this, they want to put a decapitated head on the table and cut off bodies and cut hearts out. And there's really no way to defend this as some kind of a piece of art or some kind of innocent guillotine, because it's just art and it's not actually chopping people's head off. Not only is it a tool of murder, it also has cannibalism built in right into it. So I wanted to do a quick search to see if Tom Sachs is connected to Freemasonry. And of course I took a peek at his Wikipedia page, which I found out he's very interested in NASA and the space program, and has actually done mock moon videos. This is it right here, his mock moon landing. Here's his YouTube, Tom Sachs, and a film about the space program by Tom Sachs. And in here they've done this, this mock moon landing where it's completely fake. They have mission control here, and they send them up into the moon, and there's a little bit of homosexuality in with it, and just seems like really like he's making fun of the moon landing. And I almost liked this video because it really seemed like it was like they're trying to make fun of the actual moon landing. And so regretfully, I took a peek at his YouTube channel and some of his other videos, and that's when this hero's journey video shows up right here. There's a trailer.
I can't do this anymore. I'm done with this. I hate this job. I want to work at that studio. I want to build. I want to do something with my hands. I'd do anything to work. There's just no way.
Life in the studio begins at the internship threshold.
And if that wasn't creepy enough for you, there's 37 minutes for the whole film. And this thing is just about the creepiest video I've seen since some of the Pizzagate videos. And I do not recommend watching it, but I want to point out just a couple interesting things from this video. So it starts off, and it's called Nike. They say Nike craft, which is interesting because Freemasonry is a craft, and we know that is witchcraft. What they're doing, the craft of Freemasonry is magic and witchcraft. It's like a combination of Freemasonry and Nike, or Nike and witchcraft. And it's written by Tom Sachs and Van Neistat, which is Casey Neistat's brother. So if you know YouTube, you know who this guy is. This is his brother, and it's directed by him as well. Okay, so here we are at the very beginning, and the first thing I noticed is this reminded me of the old Hebrew concept of the flat Earth, where you have the dome here, and then you have the Sheol or the world below, but you can see the flat plane of Earth with the dome over it, and the hole at the top where the light comes down. Very much like this image, where we see the flat Earth with the dome over it, the great deep below, and then heaven or God above with the gate into heaven at the very top. It's a very similar looking concept here, but on part one he takes just the regular person, and so they're at boredom, I guess, and she's bored at work, so she's looking for I guess more in life, and that's where the call to adventure comes. And she gets a ticket to go to NASA, basically, and over she goes to NASA. Now, when she gets here,
Oh my God. I love this. This is amazing. How on earth did they make this? I would love to make stuff like this.
so she's saying, how did they make this? You know, it's all fabricated. And here they are at the indoctrination center in NASA. And I was shocked to find, you know, here you are at NASA, and right out of NASA, this guy is calling them an indoctrination center. In fact, the lady proceeds to the indoctrination booth, and you could see here, this is the indoctrination center. And here she's given some screws, and she has to sort them all out. It's all these just pointless tasks of sorting screws out, making sure they have the right size and the right head. And of course, in between it has these shots of NASA astronauts in the background, and you know, these are kind of the people who have already been through this whole indoctrination process. And I'm not sure what's going on right here, but it looks like they're taking the Kool-Aid. They got a little cup with some juice in it. It looks like Kool-Aid.
Echo Mike, Kool-Aid.
I could do this.
Echo Mike, Kool-Aid.
I could do this.
In fact, yeah, she just said Echo Mike Kool-Aid. So now they've taken the Kool-Aid.
Repeat after me. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
Did you catch the pentagram? It's right here. So interestingly placed pentagram. And the quote that he used is from Dune, the book and the video game. It has to do with the Mentat, which was a replacement for the computer and thinking machine, but they were like humans kind of like robots, I guess. I haven't read Dune, so I don't know a lot about it, but from what I can read about them here, they are they're basically human computers. You know, they wouldn't have free will or anything like that. They're just thinking machines is all they are. They're just machines, and their mantra is it is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. But she goes on to the next phase, which these are just the phases of Freemasonry. She's going through the different stages of joining Freemasonry, and here she is going to the NASA, going to work at NASA, worried about her bills, worried about how much money she has. And then this interesting thing happens where this guy just runs out of the store, spills screws all over the place, and then runs off. Now, because she had been to the indoctrination center, she knows exactly how to sort the screws out, what, separate them by size, separate them by head. She knows exactly what to do when this random event happens on the street. But while she's picking them up, somebody approaches her, of course with Nike shoes on, who then takes her to this new place. And it seems to do with NASA, of course. You see the NASA chairs. But here they are dining with the devil. It seems pretty weird. Everyone has these cuts and scars. They're missing. They got blood coming out. They're cut open all over the place. But notice the guy over here. He is, I guess he's Satan. That's the way I've interpreted it. His shirt says Satan on it. And so here it looks like at NASA they're dining with the devil. I don't know why everybody has cuts and blood running out of them, but you can see right here where it says Satan, S-A-T-A, and later in the video we'll confirm that that's definitely Satan. So here she finally arrives with her sorted out box of screws and gets to join the I guess NASA at their satanic meet up here, or dinner with the devil, whatever that is, and they kind of point up. So she has to go up and meet someone here who gives her a booklet with the 10 bullets on it. So I think she's now been initiated into Freemasonry, and that's when she changes clothes, or probably gets her Masonic apron, and now it's the internship threshold. So she's now an intern into Freemasonry, and here she doesn't get paid, but she has to do all this seemingly useless work. And Freemasons have to do stuff like this. It's called tracing boards. In Freemasonry, they use tracing boards, and it's very similar to this. It's unpaid. You just have to sit there and trace stuff that's been done. And this burning into the wood here that she's tracing is very similar to the Masonic tracing board work. And eventually, after this, she's gone past the ordinary world and starts to get into the spirit realm is what it is. And so, belly of the studio, or belly of the beast, and down here it's more like a horror movie, and you've got people that have gotten their limbs cut off, and they're whisked away, and she has to finish the work. So there she sees the board's halfway cut, and she has to finish doing that cut. The first girl who did it had her hand cut off. And now the road of trials. And this is, confirmation that they were definitely dining with Satan earlier, and it was Satan that was written on that shirt, because here she's essentially studying, I guess the NASA intern studying to become the employee of NASA. So pretty interesting that you would have her studying a book called Satan Ceramics while doing a Sign of the Horns. Let's go ahead and back this up a few frames. We got Space Program right here. Satan Ceramics with the Sign of the Horns. So quite clear, the SATA that we had seen on the t-shirt earlier is definitely Satan. And I don't know what it means, but clearly this guy is making a connection between satanic worship and the NASA space program. And then we get this image showing, which was flashed all through the trailer. And I found that on Works of Tom Sachs. It's called the Sachs Family Crest. So here is the Sachs Family Crest. And just a few of the things you could see on there. We've got NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratories, also from NASA. And here's Satan. We've got the United States of America, 666. The Star of Rimfam. Here is a pentagram, Chanel, Nike. Of course, Carl Sagan's on here. And the United States seal, which also has a Star of Rimfam on top of it. This looks like Tesla. And the pentagram at the middle with lust and definitely something, my name's Ryan Zim. And I can't imagine making something like this and calling it the Zim Family Crest. I mean, that would be, you're putting some kind of a curse onto your family. And there are 10 rules on here. Serial number 666. And what are the rules? Do not kill unless you are attacked or for your food. Okay, so it's okay to kill for your food or if you're attacked. If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask him to stop. If he does not stop, destroy him. I don't know what kind of satanic worship this guy is into, but this stuff is absolutely disgusting. And this is on his exhibitions page, where he has the NASA cup over here, art with the all-seeing eye on it, more art with the all-seeing eye, and here we go, Satan Ceramics. Satan Ceramics is a group show featuring these 4 people who ritualistically make ceramics together every week. Now, I don't know what the heck ritualistic ceramic creation is, but I definitely don't want to know any more about it. So we know when the movie is showing this, it's just doing a slow pan now on the family crest.
Square and level. Everything. Always. Square and level.
Oh, here we get a little bit of left eye symbolism, holding the square over the right eye with only the left eye exposed. And with the square showing, can you guess what the next tool is that they're going to show?
1/16 of an inch. You get a 1/16 of an inch.
You guessed it, a compass.
The combo square, compass, and straight edge.
Ah, yes, the combo square and compass. Quite clear what this video is talking about. Now, throughout this video, they call this woman who's trying to apply for NASA the street scum. And that is the uninitiated into Freemasonry. She's called the street scum. And once she joins Freemasonry, of course, she's not a street scum anymore.
On her journey, the street scum will be confronted with a task beyond both her skill set and her perceived talent. The task will seem impossible. In the case of our street scum, this impossible task is to divine from a flat sheet of foam core an exact model of a plastic bunny.
Now, in order to complete her difficult task that she doesn't think she can complete, she has to go up the stairs and out to where she meets with, I'm pretty sure this is a one-on-one with Lucifer or Satan. Meeting with the studio goddess. So she's going to meet with a god goddess. That is why this is a one-on-one with Satan. Perhaps the 33rd degree of Freemasonry is the point of the journey.
Confronted with an impasse, our street scum seeks wisdom from the studio goddess. And the studio goddess tells her this: in order to complete this task, you must understand two things. First, your body knows how to render this sacred object, but your brain does not. Allow your hands to divine the bunny without instruction from your mind. And the second bit of wisdom she whispered, for it was not for us to hear.
And now that she has completed the 33rd degree of Freemasonry and has made the pact with Lucifer, she is put through temptations and bound by rope, which happens in almost all Masonic rituals, bound by rope like this. But also we know that once that pact has been made with Lucifer, you are showered with financial success and everything that the world has to offer. And we see that happen here. After she's met with the studio goddess, she has immeasurable success and just showered with money. And the last part of the spiritual journey is atonement with the boss. And I've probably not interpreted this part of the video correctly or missed some of the meeting, but she seemed to crawl into the shack and have some tea, make some kind of a tea here that is then drinking out of a cup. And the only thing I was able to think that this may symbolize is the drinking of blood out of skulls. Funnily, she's using a NASA cup, but the cup is very similar to the upside down skull that the Masons use in their rituals. And this is quite telling. John Ferguson, studio master, 10 Bullets creator. And of course he loves the skull. And I was trying to see if this guy was connected with Freemasonry. And what I found instead is an arrest record. John Ferguson, age 30. And he was arrested for this right here. And sometimes two different people have the same name. But look at this man's face. Especially his mustache, his beard, and his goatee. And just his face overall. And see if there's any resemblance with this guy right here. I'm pretty sure that's the same exact guy. He's got the same face, the same mustache, the same beard going on. The only difference is a shaved head here versus hair growing here. So for two guys who are both called John Ferguson, I would suspect that that's most likely the same exact face and the same exact person. Now, the hero's journey was uploaded on August 29th, 2017. So it wouldn't be for an additional till 2020, 3.5 years later when this happened. But it just goes to show you what kind of people you're dealing with who are making these type of videos. This is the studio manager and the 10 Bullets creator. And we see what happened to him further down in his life. Obviously, this woman is probably tied up into the same garbage. And especially the owner of the YouTube channel, this guy, who I'm not sure what he's doing here, but it kind of looks like he's putting a dome over the earth. I'm not sure. That's just speculation, but he did that for some reason there. And this is Tom Sachs, the Guillotine creator and the creator of this movie. A nice zoom up of the skull. I guess those Masons love a good skull. They like to drink out of them anyways. And this might be intentional, maybe not, but here we get some left eye symbolism with the at least the tape measure covering up the left eye. And of course a nice little message into the video here. Stanley Kubrick is dead. That's a nice thing to say for a guy who also has made fake moon landing videos. And he's saying Stanley Kubrick is dead. So overall, this is an extremely creepy film, and it's also a very creepy artist. And there's no excuse for trying to defend Chanel's Guillotine artwork or this artist. And it definitely falls flat on its face to try to say that Guillotine or this artist are not connected to Freemasonry, because this entire video, The Hero's Journey, can be renamed as The Masonic Journey. And it showed all of the pieces to Freemasonry and joining the 33rd degree satanic church.